Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna give you a Procreate tutorial because a lot of you asked me how to navigate and I thought I would finally deliver. And I only really started painting on Procreate about a year ago, but I have been learning a lot along the way. So I cannot wait to show you some of the basics. And I think I'm gonna make this a series and talk about how to make realistic figures and all the tips and tricks that a lot of people don't even tell you, but I hope you enjoy. This case is from Amazon. It's a little marble action. It's magnetic. You can hold your little Apple Pencil here. It's really nice. I'll link it down below. This is the iPad 7th gen and it's 10.2 inches. It's beautiful. Also, I have a paper-like screen protector, so it makes it feel like I am drawing and painting on paper. This is great, fantastic. I love this so much, but it does wear away the tip of your Apple Pencil a lot, so just be careful with that, but I love this. The Procreate app is $10 at the Apple Store. It's not monthly, it's just a one-time fee, and I love it. First, I will click the plus button right here. If I want to post this art on Instagram, I usually pick square because it's 2048 by 2048 and it's perfect for Instagram. It fits perfectly. Once you click on it, it looks very overwhelming because it's a blank slate. There's so many options and I know. And I was very stubborn in the beginning because I did not want anyone to teach me. I did not watch any YouTube videos, so I learned by myself. So hopefully you're not like that. First things first, let's go through all of the features. This is the color picker. There is a color wheel. This is the one I prefer. You can press around like, sorry, I have a pencil. You can press around like that, pick your color, it shows up right here. There's also a classic. It looks like this, harmony, value, and palettes. Palettes I'll talk about later in a different video, but this is also really great. This is layers. This is the background color. So instead of taking a color and just dropping that and making that the background, there is a specific section already where you can just make that the background. This is the eraser, so if I draw something, this erases it. Also, you can undo it, which is right here on the bottom left. You click the back button. Or third option, 2 fingers, press it once, and it undoes. So instead of going back and forth, you can just do that, which is fantastic. This is the blurring / blending feature. This is great. I'll show you later on how to use this. This has all the brushes and pens. This is amazing. I love this. These are all free. There's a sketching, inking, drawing, painting, artistic. There's ones that make it look like you have skin, hair, and it's fantastic. There's so many features here. And then this, if you were to add a drawing here, this, you can move it around. It's a cursor. You can make it bigger. And also down here, you can flip it horizontal, flip it vertical. You can distort it, warp it. So this is also great. I use this very rarely, but if you were to cut something out of a different picture, this is also fantastic. This button, the little enhancing adjustment button, is really good with hue, saturation, color balance, all of that. And this is also fantastic. This little wrench right here, amazing. This lets you add photos, canvas. So if you need a drawing guide, it gives you those little squares to make your drawing a little bit more accurate. And this is how you save it. I usually save it as a JPEG or a PNG. You can make your animations here, videos, you can export your time lapse here. This is also great. I'll talk about it in my next video where I talk about my tips and tricks, my sticker making, my time lapse of how I use my pens and brushes. If you're starting out, I would recommend you to use a drawing that you have or a picture that you have and trace over it to just practice. So I would click the wrench on the top left, add. I'm gonna use one of my own selfies, insert, and we can see that this is the first layer. So we're gonna click the plus button and add another layer. This way, if I were to get rid of the picture of myself, for example, delete, the sketch or the painting that I have on top of it doesn't also go with it. The second layer, I would go to the brushes section, go to inking technical pen, click black. And this is great because technical pen or any of the other pen, you can change the features here. So streamline is great because it gives you less control, but it makes the lines more precise. And for example, if I brought the streamline all the way down, it gives you more control here, but the lines are less accurate. So I click black and then I can just draw over my face. And this is fantastic because the amount of pressure you put on the pen is how thick the lines come out. So this is me doing it really lightly, and this is me doing it really hard. And also when I do the eyes, eyeball has to be really accurate. So I make the circle like this, and if you hold it at the end point, it makes it perfect. And if I hadn't done that, it would have looked like that. And this also works for lines. Hold it, and it turns into a straight line. It is great. That is my sketch. I would also sometimes put down the opacity of the first layer to see where I'm going. So you click N and then lower the opacity right here. So now it looks more transparent and you can draw it more easily. I'm gonna get rid of the first layer by just undoing this box right here. Then I will click the layers again, do a third layer, and this is where I start the painting. We'll choose a color right here, and then choose a lighter color. Remember how we were talking about this little tool right here? This is great, let me show you what it does. You can adjust the brush size right here and the opacity of the brush right here. I usually go really high with the opacity and choose this depending on whatever I'm doing. So with this blurring tool, this blends in both the colors and makes it look perfect. It looks perfect, right? It blends in with each other. This is great for skin especially. I love doing that. Sometimes when you're painting over it, you're kind of drawing over the lines. You're like, oh my God, what the heck am I doing, right? So you go back to layers and you just drag that layer underneath the sketch. So now you can still see the lines and you're still painting on it, right? It's amazing. Another feature is you go back to that wrench, you click canvas, reference, and then you add that same picture that you're using. And then you have it on the side just like that. You can zoom in and out of your drawing to be more precise. And also another great trick, if you want the exact same color from your reference picture to be in your drawing, you click on it to whatever color you want and it drop picks it. It's like a little picker, and then it shows up here and then you have it right here. For example, if I want the lips to be the exact same color, I pressed it, it's right here, and then turn. Another great feature about this is adding text. So you click that wrench again, click add text, and you can write whatever you want here. You click it twice, click this AA button right here above the keyboard, and you can change the fonts and the style of it, the size. And you can also change the width between all of the letters and the opacity as well. And there's just a lot of features here. I'm gonna talk about how to get different fonts in a different video, but that's amazing, ecstatic. You should be excited for that because a lot of people don't know this. Click done, move it around town, and you can also distort. Some of the pens and brushes that I use to get my art looking all realistic, like this, and this, and this, and so many more. I use the technical pen to sketch, like how you saw. I would put the opacity down and sketch on top of it. And then I would go to painting, go to round brush, and use that, use a color. And then I would blend it out with this tool. And then sometimes for highlight in your skin, to make your skin look more dewy, I would go to artistic, hearts, do a lighter highlight shade, make it look like that. This gives it more texture, which I love. Makes it look like you have pores. I would go to calligraphy. Sometimes when I write and I wanted to have my personal handwriting, I use the calligraphy pen and it's called Monoline. I sometimes use the preset texture features, but I don't use it too often. So for example, if I wanted to have a Victorian theme, or in the dress or whatever in the background, I would just use that. I don't use it too often though. I use the flowing hair a lot just to give some texture to the hair. So for example, it would look like, so this would be for like flyaways and some texture. And I also sometimes use old skin, which is kind of gross, but I use it to give texture to my Gucci bags. So for example, this is a bag. I would go to touch-ups, old skin, and put some alligator texture in there. So for example, you can see this looks like a leather bag. Look at that. I also forgot to mention, if you don't want to manually color in a spot, for example, if you don't want to just do this on and on, you can just drag that color inside of it. It just has to have a beginning point and an end point, and you're good to go. And yeah, I think that's it. And those are some of the starting tips on how to use Procreate. There are so many more, and it is an app that you have to kind of practice on and get familiarized with to actually like know how to use it completely. Make sure you keep practicing, because my first art pieces looked like this, and then this was my second art piece where I got a little bit better, but I did not get better until way later and months into it. So keep on practicing. You got this, and this is definitely going to be a series, so you're going to see a lot more videos like this. Like and subscribe, because I know you like my content, and it's annoying how only 50%, not even, less than 50% subscribe to me, while the other people are roaming freely watching my videos. So like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you later.